Hi friends, it's Professor Platt. How is everyone doing? It's a midway point of our time together. Has everybody had the chance to really meet one another? I know through the discussion board, we try to get personal. This is an amazing time to line up your A team. When you line up your A team, you can really share. What can light me up might be the strategy for somebody else to really collaborate and to make a difference in their business. I encourage everybody to get in the uncomfy zone. Greatness doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Greatness happens when you're uncomfortable, when you're in new spaces, sharing what's on your mind, sharing what you want to create, sharing what inspires you, hearing what other people are up to, and together you're collaborating to create the catalyst of something that can be even bigger and better and greater. You can do hard things. You can do it. Those results that you might create, you might look back at this time and think you were just beginning and you didn't know what you were creating, but you can really create something with purpose starting now. I just wanted to give a little bit of highlights. We're into fashion transition. Fashion transition is where raw materials, it's your big idea, you have it, you're going to test it, you're going to make samples, you're going to produce it, it's going to go to the factory, you're going to figure out how are you going to sell it ultimately to the point where it lands in your closet. What is involved in this process? This is kind of a running joke, but how many people do you think have really touched or thought about the garment that you're wearing? I mean, there's a lot, right? It comes from a sheep maybe from the beginning, or maybe it's made of cotton. So it's grown from the ground up into the point where it's converted into fabric. Somebody figures out the fabric patterns, designs, cut, sew, marketing. There's so many hands just in that one garment that you are bringing to market. So it is a real transition, and every step along the way is its own industry, its own business, ultimately yours, that you get to be so creative and innovative about. You're in the business of creating confidence and the business of desire, community connection with all the things that you're doing here. So by definition, fashion transition, it is the journey of a fashion product supply chain up until the point of retail. Once that garment goes home with me, it is out of the business of fashion and it enters into the closet of my friends. In this unit, you're going to focus on how to take a product from concept to consumer. You're going to look at merchandising, how to be a merchandiser. You're going to define global impact and sourcing. And then lastly, we're going to look at some retail stores. It has really changed in retail since the rise of social commerce, the spike in Gen Z and TikTok shopping habits. Retail has radically changed in the last 5 years. I would like everybody to weigh in onto how retail has changed in the last 5 years and where do you think it's going next? In this slide deck, there's a bunch of videos for everybody to watch, how to take from retail to resale. In your case, she's going to meet with a fashion buyer. In case she works with Urban Outfitters, does anybody really thought to work with Urban Outfitters? You're going to examine what it takes to be part of the retail industry. A couple of things about how to be a fashion buyer. I want everybody to remember you're not shopping for yourself. You have to remember the demographics and psychographics, the lifestyle of the person that you're creating for. You have to shop for your customers, and you have to get that right. Know your customer. Don't buy what people expect, what they don't know about. If you just create something based on old brand codes, it's a collection for people to see. But if you create innovation and novelty, that's a collection for people to buy. That's what you can do when you're curating your store. Create desire, give people what they don't know about. Having said that, you have to be ready to negotiate. Keep on that poker face. You never know what's going to happen next, what price, and what's going to happen on the other side. Know the analytics, know your budget, know how you're going to achieve financial goals. The buying cycle, traditionally, it's been February, March, and September, October. But know your business. If you're in the swim industry, you might need your samples. You need them ready to go for the Miami swim shows, end of June, July time. In the surf industry, that's a little bit different. Outdoor market, also a little bit different. Friend of mine makes clothing for festivals. She's not on this buying cycle at all. When is it that your customers need the product? When do the stores need the product? What is the buying cycle that's related to the product that you are putting at market? And reverse engineer that process to figure out how you need to produce. I'm going to leave everybody with this slide on directional shopping, so how you can gain inspiration for your new season by seeing what's out there in the world, as well as some comparative shopping. Of course, we want to know what's happening amongst our competitors to figure out where do we fit in, how do we price ourselves. Has anybody done any range planning? It's also called line planning. Fashion merchandiser. The critical thing to keep in mind here, to achieve the correct balance of merchandise to satisfy consumer demand. Pay attention to the trends. Coloru and WGSN, they just came out with the 27-28 forecast. Pantone is coming out with their forecast. If you go into WGSN or all the different Trendalytics, different forecasting, they're going to be sharing with you what's ahead. Mirror your collection to what your clients want, to being knowledgeable of what is available to you in the industry. You have to stay on top of the trends. You have to, again, predict what the consumer wants. They're not coming to you for what they already know. They're coming to you for innovation. But just to give some overview, we should talk about the functions of what it takes to be a merchandiser. Manufacturing timing. It is so critical. You always have to reverse engineer the process of when the stores need it. Always figure that it's going to take you 90 days to produce a sample, 90 days to produce a manufacturing run. The stores want it 90 days in advance of the season. What are we looking at? We're looking at least a year, right? Almost a year. I just kind of gave it short of the year, but it takes a while to produce a collection. Reverse engineer it is that the store needs it. Your production cycle of 90 days, creating a sample of 90 days, actually doing the design work. It's going to take about a year. I'm going to leave you with the merchandising calendar, how to reverse engineer this process, some highlights on how to do your range planning. It's a very exciting process. Also want everybody to think about just some trivia. What if you find out that something really cool that you've been doing, like a leg warmer, what if you find out it's a fad? What do you do? How do you use it? And what happens if you create a swimsuit in a chartreuse and it doesn't sell? What do you do? Do you pull it? Do you mark it down? Do you keep the price as it is? What would you do? All of a sudden you have excess inventory of a product and it's not selling. What do you do? I'm going to leave you on this slide, the retail cycle. It was the process of everything we've talked about. You have the idea, then you style it, you create your sample, sourcing, manufacture, quality control, transition to retailers, retail customers, and then back again. That process, each step is 90 days. So you have your idea, styling, sampling, 90 days, sourcing, manufacturing, 90 days, control, quality, transition to retail, store, sell, 90 days. It's a full cycle, a year process. Anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Yes or no? Are you a fashion industry insider? What do you think? Let me know. Bye for now.